teaching with grenades? Is there any like crazy stuff?
Well, yeah, it's we worked about 6.5 days a week, and the only time about 10-hour days, so there wasn't a whole lot of time to screw around. But we'd go over Cameron Bay and just for the hell of it, fish with hand grenades, which would be a felony in the United States. You take a grenade, you throw it out, and if the water's shallow, there's a little plume. If it's not shallow, there's just a little surface movement. And then you dive in, we're snorkeling, you dive in and you capture the fish that are stunned. Then we just give them to the Vietnamese.
Huh.
So that's my story.
And so
I didn't get hurt. I came back with all my limbs. I had a tent mate killed over there, and it was a real tragic accident. What had happened, we had a maintenance officer who was a really good maintenance officer. War couldn't go on without him. He was so important to us. And we used helicopter rotor blades for theater seats if they'd been shot up, then couldn't be used as helicopter blades anymore. We had all the theater seats that we needed. A helicopter came in, it had been shot up, and he was going to take this one blade out and drop it out in the South China Sea. And he slung it underneath the helicopter. You can lift. There's a device on a helicopter where you can lift right from the belly of the helicopter. The problem was he didn't spoil the blade. Now the blade is an airfoil, and when he started flying out to the sea to drop it, that blade started flying. And it swung up. The people I was inside the tent at the time. It got up one way and then swung up there and got into the helicopter blade on the other side. It just swung up there. And I was inside the tent and I heard this whack and then whoosh, 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 and then a crash. Didn't crash very far from the tent I was in. So what had happened, when that blade swung up into the rotor blade, it separated the blades from the aircraft. The aircraft rolled over and crashed, killed all 4 people that were on the helicopter. One of the rotor blades slashed through the mess tent. Just lucky nobody was in the mess tent at the time, because they would have been either killed or seriously hurt. And this guy who was flying was a maintenance officer. We lost him, of course, and 3 others that just went along for the ride. And the war went on without him. So if you want to find out how important you are, what you do is you take your hand, you stick it down to a bucket of water, and you pull it out and see how big a hole is there. So these indispensable people turn out to be not indispensable.
So your living conditions.
Sorry?
Your living conditions. You were in a tent most of the time.
Living condition. Well.